But I want to fight them.
Mm-mm.
I use the summer
Mm-mm.
sword.
Onward and upward, you claw your way through the wooded hillside. Your throat is dry and your heart is pounding as though it is about to burst. But you dare not slacken your pace. For 4 hours pass before you feel certain that you have outrun the enemy. It is nearly dusk when you chance upon a narrow, steep-sided valley carved from the hillside to afford access to a mine tunnel. For hundreds of years, the ore of the Mackin Range has been the blessing of the bane of many who have ventured here to seek their fortune. Men have found wealth beyond their wildest dreams, but also men have perished without a trace in this labyrinth of cold, dark tunnels. You examine the mine entrance. You know that you can find a major passage. You could trace your way to Ruinon itself. At the entrance, you find a discarded wooden crate containing 6 torches and a tinderbox. You wish to take some of them?
I do.
You will need to use at least 1 torch to light your way. You may take as many as you wish, but remember each torch counts as 1 backpack item. Be sure to mark the appropriate changes to your... So let's see. Your backpack has 4 slots available.
Let's take a tinderbox.
Tinderbox. So you have 2 slots left. You good? Just torch and a tinderbox?
I'll just fill them up.
All right.
There's no reason not to.
Right, you can just abandon them. Just don't tell me my backpack's full. I put those in my belt. It's just like a massive torches.
Between my teeth.
You're like a massive torches and you light them all.
All right, let's get into those mines.
In the flickering light of your torch, you can see that the tunnel is supported by a crisscross of props and beams. The rock is damp, and a narrow rivulet of ore-stained water runs along the tunnel floor. You soon reach a junction where the tunnel heads off to the left and right. If you have the kind of tracking, hey, look at that.
Oh, sweet. I hopefully go towards Dennis.
You sense... There's no Dennis! You sense that the left tunnel leads away from Ruinon. Without hesitation, you turn and head off towards the right. Why would you do that?
Is that what I wanted to do?
The tunnel descends for miles into solid rock. You are occasionally startled by unexpected swarms of glowing mine flies or fluttering bats swooping out of the darkness attracted by your body heat. You eventually reach a chamber where a small wooden hut has been built against the wall. You are now desperately tired and in need of sleep. If you wish to rest in the hut, or if you wish to press on regardless of fatigue.
Let's go into some random-ass hut. I like doing things that probably get me hurt.
And if nothing else, wasting time. Extinguishing all of your torches... You curl up on the floor and quickly fall into a deep sleep. Many hours pass before you awake, refreshed by your rest. Restore 2 endurance points that you don't need to restore. Relighting your torch, hang on. Excuse me. Relighting your torch, you can now see that the hut is full of mining tools. Picks, shovels, and wheelbarrows are stacked up right along the far wall. If you wish to take either the pick or a shovel, do so and mark it on your action chart as a backpack item. Due to the size of these tools, they each take up the same amount of space as 2 normal backpack items.
Alright, let's check out my backpack.
Oops. So if you want to take either one, it's going to take 2 spots. Alright, hang on.
Well, since I know best, I'm going to drop 2 torches.
Oh no. Uh-huh. And take...
pick a pick.
Yeah! Done. Okay, hang on, guys. In the stream, and Piph, I need to take like a quick 5-minute break. I had promised many hours ago to talk to Sariak about something with his Dragon Ball Z League team. Should not take more than a minute or 2, okay. But it's the appointed time, and I completely forgot. But
go for it.
Guys, go for a restroom break or something like that. I am going to end the stream real quick. I will turn it right back on, and Piph, I will call you back.
All right.
All right, everyone, hang on. Hey, we're back. Woo! Yeah.
I question how good the soldiers were.
Uh-huh.
If they died immediately to bandits.
No, these aren't... Okay, but these aren't bandits. These are an actual private army from the country of Vasagonia, so they're on the same par.
Hey, that... Every single enemy I fought said bandit.
I know.
Bandits.
Some bandits are really skilled. So, you have retrieved the mighty pickaxe of mininess. We should name
I cannot wait.
the pickaxe of awesome.
I cannot wait for like a thing where just like, this looks like a dig spot. Need to use shovel.
Due to the size of these... Okay, 2 tunnels lead away from the chamber. One heads west.
I can't see.
Oh, right. Hang on a second. I can fix that. Bam! Woo!
Just, hold on, there's a waiting button. There it goes.
All right. So 2 tunnels lead away from the chamber. One heads west, the other heads south.
Why is it dark and gray and not moving?
What are we talking about?
Your screen. Can you move your mouse around? Can I see
yeah.
that? It's not doing that.
What? Weird. Hang on, let me restart the screen share. Stop the share. Why does it say I can't share screens now? There we go. Start the share.
There it goes.
Yeah! Alright. So, west.
I would like
south.
to check my map.
Check your map in a mine. Here's your... Wait, that's the wrong place. Here's your map. You are somewhere around here.
Where's the mines?
I don't think it says.
Alright. So. Well, I know south is the way I want to go. Because that is the direction usually I would like to take. So I like to see my options again.
You don't need to see your options. You know what you're choosing.
I like to go west.
As you gradually descend into the tunnel, you feel a draught of cold, dank air on your face. The walls of the tunnel are composed of glittering ore that catches the light of your torches and reflects a dazzling display of color. As your eyes follow the dancing lights, you suddenly notice that the floor is covered with pink fungi. If you have the discipline of healing, hey, you do. If only you had like a pickaxe to get all that ore. You recognize that the fungi to be Calasina. The spores of these pink mushrooms are much sought after by illusionists and magicians, although it is said that they can cause terrible hallucinations and even madness. As you step gingerly among the corridor, you take great care not to tread or brush against the spore-laden fungi. The tunnel continues uninterrupted for several miles before eventually reaching a long deserted gallery. Why do I get the feeling that your lone wolf would have like started consuming these things?
What hallucinogens done?
It'll bring the men back to life. At least in my heart. A line of empty ore wagons lie parked along a stretch of track that disappears into the west wall of the gallery. Above the arched tunnel, a flight of wooden stairs leads to a smaller passage lit by a spluttering torch. You stay hidden in the shadows, watching the gallery for half an hour before you are satisfied it is safe to enter. You have the discipline of tracking, so...
You sat there for half an hour just to make sure.
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
Judging by the smoothness of the stone floor and the condition of the ore wagons, you decide that this gallery must service a major section of the mines. A fresh breeze can be felt blowing out of the west tunnel. Wait, really? You had to have the skill of tracking and be the highest rank to tell that? I could have told that. Huh. It's well worn. There's things. I bet you this is important. Nope. A fresh breeze can be felt blowing out of the west tunnel, and you sense that you must be near the surface. Ruinon lies due west, the same direction.
I went east.
Actually, you went west.
Oh.
Yeah, the same direction as the ore wagon tunnel. You took a deep breath and emerged from the shadows, crossed the gallery, and quietly entered the archway beyond.
Oh.
Fooled you! You thought south was the right direction. Well, it wasn't. As you make your way along the torchlit tunnel, you pass several ore wagons bearing the same design branded on their wooden sides, a cross moline above the initials OV. You recognize the seal of the Orin Vanaland, the Baron of Ruinan, and it confirms the fact that you are heading into the right direction. Suddenly, the sound of approaching footsteps begin to echo along the tunnel ahead. They become louder, accompanied by shouting and the crack of a whip. If you wish to dive into one of the empty ore wagons, or do you wish to hide in the shadows?
What? I want to be dramatic about this shit. Let's dive into an empty ore wagon.
Yeah! Like, I can just picture you, like, dive like a dolphin. Rising the hood of your Kai cloak, you crouch in the bottom of the empty ore wagon and wait with bated breath. Through a gap in the wood, you can see a haggard procession of men shuffling towards you. An escort of bandit warriors pushes them forward, beating any who falter or slip out of line. You feel a sudden jolt as your wagon is pushed along the tunnel and glance up to see a sweat-streaked face peering down at you. "Run left when I say go," whispers the face, then disappears over the edge of the wagon. As the wagon emerges from the tunnel, sunlight suddenly floods over you. Through the crack, you can now see your destination. The wagons are being shunted over a timber gantry, where the track ends some 50 feet above a huge mound of ore. Your observations are cut short by a hiss command, "Go!" If you wish to leap over the wagon and run left, do you wish to leap over the wagon and run right, or do you wish to ignore the command and stay where you are?
Alright, I want to save.
Uh-huh. We go left when I say go. No, your other left. What are you gonna do? You gonna stay or you gonna go right?
I'm going to totally leap right.
Yeah, I knew you would.
Let's do this shit.
Your other right. You vault over the edge of the wagon and
Yes!
run, little dreaming of what lies ahead. The causeway wall is high and you cannot stop yourself in time from falling over the edge. You crash headfirst into a quarry over 100 feet below, glimpsing the horrified expression of your unknown friend as you fall. He's like, "Oh my god, I said left."
My left or your left?
Let's reload that. Okay, you wish to go left? Do you wish to go right? Or do you wish to ignore the command and
I'd
stay
like
where
to
you are?
ignore him. Fucking douchebag thing he knows when he couldn't go.
Tell me what to do, you peasant. The wagon halts in the center of the timber gantry, and the men are herded back into the tunnel. You wait for over an hour before the entrance is free of guards. Then you slip out of the wagon and run back along the gantry. Wow. I was expecting another death scene. Apparently it works. A corpse of densely packed trees lines one side of the track, and along the other a sheer drop to the quarry. As you dash into the foliage, you suddenly realize that the whispering stranger had been trying to help you escape. You bid him a silent thanks and press on. No, you knew.
Nope. I had no idea. He was some sort of demon man trying to make me jump off a cliff or something.
The guy's like, freaking ungrateful. Fine, stay in the wagon. The trees are alive with bandit patrol. Wouldn't it be funny if he wasn't trying to help you? Like, you could jump out left and there's just a bunch of guards and you're like, "Ha! Fooled you!"
That's what I was thinking, actually.
The trees are alive with bandit patrols, but your quick wits and Kai skills prevent you from being seen by them. Eventually, you reach the edge of the corpse. You find yourself staring out across the expanse of open plain towards Ruinon. The sight that lies before you is very disquieting. I mean, almost unnerving. Disquieting.
I'm curious on what the other direction went.
I'm just curious, like, okay, disquieting, isn't that kind of a... That's kind of like a... uneasy. Like, you look at the site and you go, this is making me a little uncomfortable. Much of the mining town has been burnt to the ground. The blackened ruins that were once shops, cottages, and taverns are now little more than smoldering mounds of charcoal. You are beginning to fear the worst, that Ruinon has been totally destroyed, and this apparently is only disquieting.
Yep.
When a gentle breeze clears the haze of wood smoke hanging like a gray curtain over the ruins, inside the perimeter of ruined buildings, a barricade has been thrown up around a tower of stone. Above the tower, a tattered flag still bringing renewed hope. Still flies, bringing renewed hope. It is the sun flag of Summerlin, edged with a band of white braid, the cavalry standard of the King's Guard Regiment. The sudden crack of a twig makes you freeze. You glance behind to see 3 bandits creeping through the trees towards you. The wide steel tips of their spears glint. They seem to be coated with a clear, sticky fluid. If you have the Kai discipline of hunting or have ever visited Gorn Cove, which apparently you have at some point.
Yeah.
Yes, you have. I don't remember when that was, but you recognize Nadern sap dripping from their spears is a deadly poison. You dare not risk engaging in combat with these bandits, for the merest graze of one of their tainted weapons could be fatal. Leaping to your feet, you race away from the trees and run towards Ruinon. Let's
I was
see.
gonna fight those guys.
I know you were, and you would have died horribly. Like, literally, it's one of those that if they do any damage to you whatsoever, you die. So that would have been fun. Watch you would have beaten them without any damage whatsoever.
There's a lot of bandits, by the way.
Yeah.
Waiting for one of them to like lick their spear.
Oh crap! What have I done?
Oh shit.
My mother always told me that habit would be the death of me.
Deadliest poison. Hey.
My mother always told me that habit would be the death of me. From all along the forest edge, group of bandits emerged from the trees, whipped and scolded by their bullying sergeants for allowing you to escape. This spurs you to quicken your pace, and you cover the first 100 yards with ease. The arrows begin to fall around you. You duck and weave, making yourself a difficult target for their archers, and gradually the falling shafts dwindle in number. You smile at their futile attempts to stop you, but your confidence is soon shaken by a pack of snarling warhounds breaking out of the wood to your right. They are off the leash and hungry for blood. You are less than 500 yards from Ruinon, but the warhounds are closing in. Do you wish to quicken your pace and outrun them, or do you wish to stop and fight them?
I want to hit him.
Yeah! The warhounds lope towards you at an unnerving speed. You can see their great red-lipped jaws clearly and hear the clacking.
I use the summer sword.
I know you do. The clacking of their fangs. You fight to control your breathing, to concentrate all your warrior skills, for you must dispatch the warhounds quickly and with precision if you are to avoid being torn to pieces. Two dogs, faster than their brothers, break free from the pack and close upon you. They leap simultaneously, their slaving jaws spread wide for attack. You dive forward and roll, striking at their bellies from beneath as they pass above. Both howl with rage and pain and tumble lifeless to the ground. You are back on your feet and the next warhound attacks. Let's do this!
Just when you actually have to fight, though.
Yeah. And you have to win within 3 rounds or something bad happens, I think. 2 on our table of 14. It does 11 damage. 1 more. 3! You might not win this in 3 rounds.
I think I will.
Okay, maybe you will. Never mind. Last round.
It is an
Oh,
absolute.
God.
Even if I hit all once.
You took no damage, dude. You're just like...
I took damage.
Did you? Oh, you took 1 point. 3. No, you took 3 damage. Okay.
Yeah.
Never mind. Beyond the approaching warhound pack, you can see...
Why am I not healing, by the way?
You just took the damage.
But it's every section that isn't...
Except for
combat
sections that you were in combat. In other words,
Yeah, like-
when you turn, like this one doesn't
Oh.
count because you were just in combat. So
I
when
thought
you...
it was just like the page, you just be like, take 1.
Well, it basically, it is, if you're in a combat section, when you flip the page, you don't heal.
Okay.
Beyond the approaching warhound pack, you can see a dozen bandit archers are closing in. If you were to survive the rending jaws of the warhounds, the archers would be sure to pick you off with ease. Without wasting a second, you turn towards Ruinon and run as fast as your legs will carry you. You didn't heal. Because you're in a combat-like situation. That's right. We use the smarter rules where it says if you're in a combat-like situation like this, you don't heal because you actually have to concentrate to heal.
Shit.
Mm-hmm.
Why'd you do that?
Because
It doesn't do shit.
sure it does. It heals you when you're not in fights.
I'm just gonna keep on the summer sword then. if this kind of bullshit's happening.
You try to ignore your aching legs. I clicked the rule that says you can heal unless you're on a mission.
Yeah, well, like, is that the only rule that happens there, or what?
Pretty much, yeah. Why?
Why would I ever say that? Why I said yes to that?
I said yes to that because it just makes sense.
I'm gonna keep on the summer sword then. You force my hand.
No, but I mean, that makes perfect sense. You have to concentrate to heal. You can't concentrate when you're trying to dodge arrows and wolfhounds. You try to ignore your aching legs in the fear that knots your stomach by forcing you to concentrate on the sun flag, a fluttering symbol of hope in the distance. Your face is streaked with sweat and your lungs feel as if they will burst, but you dare not slacken your pace. The thought of Warhound's fangs closing and tugging on your skin is all you need to drive you forward.